Do you ever wish you could just leave everything behind and go back where you started? Well, that's what we're going to be doing today in Let's Play Axiom Verge. As I noted previously, this jump at the entrance of Z, we couldn't get through until we got the grappling hook, but now we can. And go back into Absu and get all the stuff that we were taunted by but unable to get in our previous trip through there. Remember this music, viewers? You know you like it. I already hacked that one. Don't worry about it. Note that if you didn't come through here earlier and hack the green gliders, you could just lab coat through here now. So it's not strictly necessary to recognize that in some cases, but it makes you feel better to do it properly. In here, though, you will remember that we came in this room, fought through all the broccoli, but couldn't do anything up here. Now, we can. I don't need to hack anything underneath, do I? Because all this garble over here now, we can get through with the level 2 thingy disruptor. These things are things we couldn't hack previously, so let's take care of that. What are those called? Small and large butterfly, I believe. We saw them previously over in Eribu. And there's a not very well hidden drill route over here. And up here, what do we get? Looks like a weapon. This is the Inertial Pulse. The gimmick with this one is that it does not get blocked by striking enemies. You can shoot through multiple enemies using it. Honestly, why? For the most part, projectiles being blocked by enemies is not such a detriment that there's really any point in using it. It is, as usual, less powerful than just the plain Axiom disruptor. So there's a save point over here we couldn't map thoroughly before. Now we can. Hooray. While you're coming through here, do remember to go back into all the save point rooms and actually jump up to the top map cell on them. Now let me see... How did we get into that one? That's right. It is easier to get down these things when you hack them. So remember this passage? Now that we have the drone, we can get in here. Very arduously drill through to this node. So basically, the author of this note is referring to Athetos disabling the Rusalki drones, apparently. It's unclear who the author of the note is, based on what we know at this point in the game, I think it's reasonable to assume that it was probably Elsenova, because we know this describes her experience. Okay, so we can also now come over into this area, again with the drone. Right? Is that the way? There is a way to get up here, right? There it is. We can go down here, and another range node. Not that it helps when all I'm doing is using the Axiom disruptor. Whatever. Just in case, I think that's the one I've already hacked. And now we get back into the bloopy part of Absu. Let me see where I'm going from here. Okay, straight along the bottom, that's fine. First thing, I do want to come over here and map this save room. Again, this is a very easy room to forget. Make sure you pick it up while you're over here. There's a room down at the bottom there I couldn't get to before. There's nothing up here as far as I know. I am not sure why this is even here. I guess maybe it might be a location for a secret world sometimes. Over here, we just have more screaming things. Ah! Okay, down here we can't actually get through yet. We need a solid surface to stand on for the lab coat to actually work, so we can't do anything with that wall, even though it's thin enough. Okay, so I'm back here in this shaft now. This is right underneath all the bone rooms. And you'll remember there's a door down here that we couldn't get through without the lab coat. And we get this extremely Norfair-looking passage here. Okay, that's the other spider I'm trying to find. I believe that is a Sudran Squid, the one on the floor, not to be confused with the hopping spider. Or maybe it's the other way around. The Sudran Squid may be the ceiling one. In any case, they were both in this room, and I hacked both of them. Okay, what node is this? Okay, this is actually a green note written in the Sudran alphabet that we can actually directly translate with the game mechanics. So I'll do that really quick. Password, where is it? Yes. I think we've seen the name Elsenova previously. That was the name of the Sudran High Priestess, I think. Someone is complaining about technology that they don't understand. So at this point, I think we know enough to recognize that the green notes are generally written by the Rusalki. From this, we can gather, I think, that the Rusalki are in communication with the Sudran government, the Sudran temple hierarchy, whomever, and are petitioning them for access to some technology that the Sudrans control. I don't think we know why they would want to do that yet. It hasn't looked so far like the Sudran civilization had that much technology of any interest. That seems to be what we're getting at. The Rusalki wanted access to Sudran technology for some reason. So I'm going to come over this way now. Ignore the ghoul. I don't think we can ignore that one, can we? And there's a note down here that we couldn't previously get. Also a green note, probably written by Rusalki. Which one is this? Okay, this is referring to Katrahaska, the Rusalki who we were told earlier sided with the Thetos and was killed by the others. Apparently there was a little more to the story than we heard. There was a tool called the Gatebreaker involved, and they acquired nanogates from it, whatever that is. And they want to use that plus the Sudran Rebirth Chamber, perhaps the technology we heard about earlier, whatever that is, and control someone. Are they trying to control a Thetos? Maybe? Were they seeing the Rusalki behind the rise of the Thetos all along? Because as far as I know, the only characters we've seen thus far in the game who are given masculine pronouns are a Thetos and Trace himself. But we can now hack through that big block of garble there. And we get to this area here where we have donuts we can hack to break through a bunch of this stuff. Now, waiting on that one can sometimes be a bit of a pain. You may have to go back and forth a bit before it'll break the pieces you need to break. But at this point, I believe we can lab coat through there and drill the rest of the way, so we don't need to wait for the last bit to get broken by it. And for some reason the music cuts out again. Weird. But we can drone up here. And another ranged node. Good to have, I guess, if you were using a weapon other than what I am using. I don't believe the ranged node has any effect on the range of the Kilver. I think the Kilver is helped by size nodes, but not by range nodes. Hopefully that broke everything I need to break. Yes. Go away. See there, I did not mean to aggro that ghoul yet, but I did anyway because of the extra tentacles. Oh well. Let's see if Elsenova's awake. You'll note that her tile set did actually get updated after the repair drones were activated, and there is a brief scene here with her. But she is not quite fully restored, which I guess is probably a good thing for us. I don't think we really want fully mobile giant robots running around the place. If for no other reason than because I don't think they would fit in these tunnels and things. Map this save room. Let me make sure really quick that I'm going the way I intend to go. Yes, I am. I wish to go up this shaft. You can hack those blinky bits in the wall, by the way, but it doesn't do anything for you. It's more for being ominous at this point than actually being functional. Hacking that blinky bit, though, does get us over onto this end of the corridor. That bit of wall there looks pretty suspicious, but to my knowledge there's nothing that can be done with it. But we can come up through the actually obvious door here. First of all, we can come up to this chunk of the room with the drone. That's what, a power node fragment? Yes, indeed. Not seeing... Almost thought I was seeing scan lines there, but apparently not. There's the scary garble that I still can't get through. Trying to hack it with the level 2 disruptor just makes a sad noise and does nothing. But there's our 6th power node fragment. You will see that the drone gained a unit of health from that. That also looks pretty suspicious, but I don't think you can do anything with it. And back through Broccoli Hall. This room here, you will remember we couldn't jump high enough to get up there. And you only can do that once you have the grapple. Even the high jump alone doesn't look like it's enough, even if you could get back here with the high jump and not the grapple. And this is the other side of that room we were in earlier with the garble. All we can do here is get yet another power node fragment. Pay attention to the map here, though, because you will notice that this is not the same garble that we saw on the other side. There is actually another chamber in the middle there that's guarded by garble on both sides. We will have to come back to that later on once we gain the ability to deal with that garble. I believe that that level 3 garble effect is actually generated partly procedurally with a cellular automata effect. By the way, it's not just a tile animation or anything. So here, I first want to drop all the way down to the bottom. Remember our skeleton friend here that we couldn't get through before? Now we can. There is a perfect little passageway for the drone here. But if you look carefully at the mini-map up there, you'll note this room does still continue underneath. And we can kind of see the corridor there. But the drone can't get to it. Just trust me, don't bother drilling all over the place, the drone can't get in there. It is possible that Trace could if he could teleport through that floor there with the lab coat, but Trace can't get down here. Again, we'll have to come back for that later. Over here we find another note. This one is purple on gray. And we get a conversation with T-Lal, identified as A3 for some reason, or something that calls itself T-Lal, or possibly Udokul, which means demon, apparently. That is actually accurate, by the way. Udokul is indeed a Sumerian phrase meaning demon, effectively, evil spirit. T-Lal claims not to be a demon, though, because T-Lal functions to kill demons, probably. Or possibly is a Thetos. How can you be a Thetos if you are T-Lal? It also thinks now the person questioning it is a Thetos. So is a Thetos a computer virus infecting all these things or something? But T-Lal likes attacking demons. We know that about its personality. We can now return to Trace's body. There's nothing else we can do down there. Let's see, where was the next one I was going for? Alright, I already got that. Do I have any other save points I want to map? I'm going to go to the top and map that save point by the Eribu entrance, because I do have another route I want to take around the other side of Absu to get back into Eribu. I'm gonna map this room, and then I'll meet you back on the other side later, somewhere around the room with the mushrooms that you hack. Alright, here we are in the mushroom room. Just need to hack those spore things to get up here. And I want to go up the top exit from this room. There was a door up here that we couldn't get into previously. But now with the grapple, not the high jump, just the grapple, we can. That might be relevant to you on a speedrun, actually, because on a speedrun where you use save warping to bypass the grapple, some of these routes you would actually be unable to take for a little while. And these rooms are a lot of nothing so far. Nothing here. Anything here? Still nothing. If I can manage to jump properly. There's a way up there that would take you into Indy, which I will be taking advantage of momentarily, but first let's go over here. Anything in here? Ah, spiders! Everything is spiders! I'm using the wrong weapon. Is that all? was kind of terrifying. But for all that, we get another health node fragment, which happily refills our health if we had gotten more beaten up by the spiders than I previously did. So I believe that is everything I can do in Absu right now. Did not quite clear the map. There are still a few obvious places you can get in here that I have not gone yet. So we will definitely be coming back to Absu later. But for now, I'm just going to go up to Indy and ride a rocket around for a little bit. Nothing over here. But you will see that a rocket is here waiting for us at that exit. There's another route up here above that we can't yet get through because we don't have a solid place to stand for the lab coat. That would take us somewhere else that we haven't been yet. There's water over here, which is interesting because I can tell you right now there is no actual water area in the game where water is a relevant mechanic, but water is still implemented in a few strange areas like that. I've heard that's because the author originally intended to make a water area, but chose not to include it, and the soundtrack actually includes a track for that area. Anyway, I'm going to ride a rocket back and forth down this tunnel to fully map it. There's, as far as I know, nothing interesting in here, just a lot of going back and forth. Sometimes there will be a secret world entrance along the bottom of Indy there, but as far as I know, not on this save. And also, as I've pointed out before, riding Araka does not map the bottom of this, so you actually need to walk along here manually and slowly. So I'm just going to put on some walking through long, narrow, identical hallways music for a little bit, and put this on fast forward, because you really don't need to watch this. Alright, so here's the far end of Indy, and there is a thing we can get in here. If you watch carefully where the Nautilus is going. You see, where does it come out? Over there somewhere. Okay, there it is. I think. Thought I had it. Okay, there we go. And we can come over here and get what I think is another note. Whoever writes these purple and gray notes notes that they hide sensitive items in the breach pockets, meaning presumably the secret worlds, which the Rusalki don't like going in, as we found from Elsenova earlier. So, someone, I don't think we know yet who, has been hiding stuff from the Rusalki. So, I'm going to ride Araka back and forth really quick to map the top here. Where is she? One moment, I need to trigger the two-screen rule. So, as I was saying, I'm going to ride Araka here back to the Absu entrance so I can map the top of Indy. And then back. Hooray! So we haven't quite gotten all the items or all the map completion of Indy yet, but we're pretty close. There's not much there. So we're going to come back over here into Eribu. Remember this corridor? We noted these indie-like tiles before. There was this jump we couldn't get up because we didn't have the grapple. Alright, so now that we're back in Eribu, there's certainly some stuff we couldn't do before that we can now. First of all, this if you didn't realize previously that you could hack the Scissorbeaks, you now can. Just use the grapple to get up. Now, I noted in an annotation earlier those odd-looking tiles up there, which you should now recognize as the Sudran character set from the notes. And this is the one time in the game where it actually is important to manually pay attention to what those characters correspond to. Because you cannot use the passcode tool to translate that. You need to actually sit there with pen and paper and cross-reference the characters and recognize that the passcode you're seeing there is Dalku Subtum. Those are actually Sumerian words according to the internet. Dalku meaning evil spirit, another type, I guess. Subtum meaning dwelling, so dwelling of evil spirits. And as soon as we enter it, the tiles actually change up here and give us access to another door here. And what's all this? There aren't supposed to be laser urchins in Eribu. There are. I don't believe we need to hack them for any reason, but I will anyway, just in case. I think we just need to grapple across the top here. Just in time. And we acquire another weapon. This is the Orbital Discharge, which travels along surfaces. I will demonstrate briefly, like that. Which is probably why they put the laser urchins in here, because that would be a fairly convenient way of destroying laser urchins if you wanted to. That. I think they travel in a random direction relative to where they hit the surface. Like there, some of them go up, some of them go down. It might be situationally useful sometimes, but not very. There are enough little surface crawler enemies in games like this that you can imagine it being useful. Okay, Spiru here we weren't able to hack previously. All hacking it appears to do is slow it down. Can't get through there yet. We also need to hack the laser squid thing. What are you even doing? Thing's just kind of floating there, shooting at us futilely. We can't go... Or we can go over to the right there, but I will save that for a little bit later. Let's see... one item over there I want to get. Oh, that one. Okay. This is the direction I wish to go. shafts already. I want to come back here. You will possibly remember this is actually those first couple of shafts that we went through when we started the game. It's not really very clearly marked now, but this over here is actually the save point where we first woke up. And over here, where we found the Axiom Disruptor initially, there's that little nook there that we can actually grapple up to now, if I can remember how to grapple properly, and drill through. And this room actually continues. So I think going up, we can't do anything yet. Correct? What happens when we go up? For one thing, we meet Will-o-Wisps. Hacking them... I don't know, they just kind of float there. So this is another one of those things. We can come through with the drone, but we can't get through here because we don't have the lab code. We'll have to find another way later. The Will-o-Wisp, you will notice, when I actually got too close to it, it did latch onto me and start draining health. So try to stay away from them. We can now come over here. Hack these hive things that we saw earlier for a little bit of extra health. Let's see. Can get through here, right? Just need to grapple a little better. Maybe I need more distance. There we go. Okay, we can't get through there. Oh, do I actually have a breath meter? I forgot about that. I can get an item over here, can't I? Yeah, my notes show that I do have a way of getting through to that thing. I think I just need to go through the right place with the drone or something. Note that the drone doesn't have a breath meter if it mattered. It doesn't. Okay, I do need Trace to get up there. There it is. We can come over here and get another health node fragment. And then we come into this area here that we can't jump high enough to get through. Nor can we get through the top there. So, once again, this is something we'll have to come back for later. There are definitely mysteries yet to unlock in Eribu. Do I have any save points I forgot to map? No. Just making sure. Eribu only has those 2 save points. From what we can see thus far. So I'm going to meet you at that room at the top where all the green gliders were. You'll remember I pointed it out previously. So here's the room with the green gliders. We can now hack them and clear them out a little more easily. You'll remember that up here there was a place where we couldn't jump far enough to get onto a door we could see. Well, again, the grapple is the item we need to do that. If I can manage to grapple properly. In fact, there are a lot of optional items here in the mid-game that you need the grapple to get to. The grapple isn't quite so superfluous as I suggested earlier. It's just not necessary for actually getting through the game's critical path. But over here we have a pretty thick laser wall that we're certainly not getting through anytime soon. There's a power node fragment over there. We cannot get to it yet. So let's try going up here instead. Green Cephalopod, by the way, is the wiki name of these things. They're not just squid things, laser squids. So this looks like a dead end. Interestingly enough, I see some scan lines here. Didn't expect that, but... Where is the scan line entrance? Can I get to it yet? Now, I don't think I can actually do anything with those scan lines yet, but what's that? You'll notice there, when I hack this thing, the little code on the top right there changes to something that looks a lot like the Sudran alphabet. Now this we actually can translate with the reveal Sudran code. Ikibu Labiru, which looks a lot like a passcode. Let's enter that. The words mean Ikibu is forbidden in Sumerian. Labiru is ancient, old, according to the internet. If I can spell them properly. So, we put that in. And suddenly there's a door over there. Ikibu Labiru, what wonderful phrase. It means a thing forbidden since the old Sudran days. I already hacked a Grey Ghoul, I think. I'll do more, because I can. Any more? Of course there are more. And over here. Down there you'll see a Cyan Scissorbeak. This is actually a different type of Cyan Scissorbeak than the ones we saw in Kur, though. They make this solid green wall when you trigger them. So make sure you hack them while you're coming through here, because you would not get them otherwise if you just hacked the one from Kur. I need to watch my health. So this over here is the other side of that big laser wall we saw earlier. Pick up that power node. And then open it up over here and come out the other side. So, that door I mentioned earlier that we can get through, I'm going to head back to that now. Okay, this corridor is where that door was, and I really need to watch my health there. We saw this room earlier, but it had this bit that we couldn't have. Now we can. So, what's over here? We'll have to find out next time. Thank you for watching, and good night.